absorption and external reconstruction. As the topic suggests, there are three terms that we are first going to talk about today theoretically and then move on to the practical treatment. Okay. Now I am saying amalgamation, and you must have heard about things like mergers and acquisition. You read it in the newspaper like ArcelorMittal, like Tata Chorus, and so many more, Vodafone, Idea, etc., etc. Now my first question to you is, why do you think does this amalgamation or absorption happen? What is the reason for it? क्या बताऊं? Yes, will anybody tell me why do companies go for amalgamation or absorption or merger? Nobody knows? Because
to improve their financial structure.
Not only that, actually to deal with the competition that we have. In the sense, let's say there are two companies of the same nature in the market. So obviously the customer gets, diverted in two. If you become one, then all the customer will be coming to you, right? So that is one of the reasons why do they go through this process of amalgamation or merger or absorption. Although all of them are different from each other, how I will be letting you know. Let me just start sharing my screen. So what I'm saying is, what is the need of amalgamation? The need is it reduces competition. Obviously, if you have in the market 4 or 5 companies which are competing amongst each other, they are taking up each other's market share. So if you will become one, automatically the competition reduces, all the customers come to you, and hence it increases your market share as well. And finally, the economies of scale, in the sense that you will be, the reason, biggest reason is economies of scale, that you produce more and hence everything becomes cheaper in terms of raw material, etc. So theoretically speaking, this is why companies go for it. And now we have to today talk about what is the difference between amalgamation, absorption, and external reconstruction. Now, if I talk about this term amalgamation, it means that two or more companies liquidate and a new company is formed. So for example, I'm saying there is A and B. Both of these companies liquidate and a new company is formed. C is a new company that is formed. For example, if you talk about Arcelor and Mittal. Now, what is happening here? Please listen to this very carefully, and you should have a register and pen with you. Obviously, you're doing corporate accounts. Take notes, and then you can go through your books also. So what I'm saying is, one condition, the first condition is two or more companies. Ek hogi, so it is not an amalgamation. Please understand. There has to be two or more companies. One. So two or more companies will be liquidating. Secondly, a new company will be formed. So what I'm saying is A and B liquidates and a new company C is formed. Is this clear? Yes or no? Please raise your hand if it is clear. I'm repeating. There will be two or more companies. Both of them or more than both of them will liquidate. And secondly, a new company will be formed. Now, let me give you a situation. Let's say A liquidates and B is formed. Is it an amalgamation? Yes or no? A liquidates and B is formed. Is it an amalgamation? Yes or no?
No, ma'am.
Two or more. Because there is only one company, right? That is the reason. So that's what amalgamation is all about. Let's understand a bit different term, that is absorption. Now the word absorption itself means absorption. Somebody is absorbing someone, which means there is already an existing company and it is going to take over another existing company. So therefore here the condition changes. What is the condition here? When one or more company. Here in amalgamation, there were two or more companies. Here there is one or more company is taken over by an existing company. So let me give you an example. So let's say A is an existing company. B is an existing company. A is taken over by B. Is it an absorption? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So similarly, an example is Hindustan Unilever took over Ponds. So Ponds was a different, company altogether. It was taken over by an existing company, that is Hindustan Unilever. So I repeat, the difference between the two, amalgamation and absorption, is amalgamation, two or more companies liquidate. Absorption, one or more company liquidates. Amalgamation, a new company is formed. Absorption, no new company is formed. Only existing company is taking over. Am I right? Am I clear? I hope you are all taking notes. I'm repeating it again and again. Please make sure you have a register when you're doing an accounts class. Make sure you're writing down what I'm telling you, because we have just started with the basics right now. So these two terms are clear, right? Yeah, Lipsa. Okay, this was your answer. Okay, I thought there is a confusion. In case anybody has a confusion, you can unmute yourself. Okay, let's go to the third term and the last term, that is external reconstruction. Now see the word external reconstruction, that there is some reconstruction happening, which means there is a sick company, which means let's say a loss-making company is there and it liquidates and a brand new company is formed. So this happened when Hindustan Ciba Giga Limited took over Forens India. What happened with Forens was, so it was producing the toothpaste which wasn't really well liked by the customers, so it was going into losses. So it was taken over by a brand new company, that is a new company was formed where the name Hindustan Ciba Giga, or somewhere it's a Gigi in the news if you see, company took over. So now let's understand the distinction between the three very clearly. This is something which can come in theory for the subject. Okay, so that's why I'm doing it. So basic differences, if you talk about amalgamation, how many companies are liquidating in amalgamation? All of you unmute yourself and tell me. Two or more, not two.
Two.
Not two.
Or
Okay?
more.
Two or more. Two हो सकता है, two से ज़्यादा भी हो सकता है. Keep that in mind. Then what about absorption? How many are liquidating?
One liquidated and no new form. Only existing can
Listen
take
to
over.
the question. I अभी सिर्फ अभी हमारा point of difference है liquidation कितनी companies की हो रही है. Amalgamation में थी two or more की. Absorption में कितने की liquidation हो रही है?
One, ma'am.
One or more. Please आप ना इंग्लिश को बहुत ध्यान से यूज करोगे. And या और बहुत डिफरेंट मीनिंग हो जाता है, और खाली वन बोलते हो तो वो भी गलत हो जाता है. One or more मतलब वन है तो भी ठीक है, वन से ज्यादा है तो भी ठीक है. Okay. And what about external reconstruction? How many liquidation? Only one. Only one. This is important here. खाली एक. ठीक है. So this you have to understand, and I hope you are writing it down. Let me underline this. Yeah. Now in amalgamation, is a new company formed? Yes. In absorption, is a new company formed? No. Only the existing company is taking over. I can write it in the bracket if you want. Existing company takes over. While in external reconstruction, is a new company formed? Yes. Is this clear? Any confusion? Right. So very quickly.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, beta, bolo.
Ma'am, in external reconstruction, a new company is formed because the existing company is taken over by another company. But in liquidation, only it is taken over, but no new company is formed.
Right. Absorption, no new company is formed. I'll tell you why. So for example, if I'm talking about Forens Limited, ऐसा नहीं होता जैसे अब आपके दिमाग में एक कंपनी है Forens, ठीक है, आपको पता है कि भाई क्या कहते हो उसको आप कि इसका तो दिवालिया पीट गया टाइप्स, राइट? यू यूज दिस लैंग्वेज, सो विच इज लाइक दे आर बैंकरप्ट और व्हाटएवर. तो उनकी फाइनेंशियल कंडीशन बहुत खराब है और कस्टमर्स भी लाइक नहीं करते उस कंपनी के प्रोडक्ट को. तो अब उसके लिए तो बहुत डिफिकल्ट है कि अचानक से वो प्रॉफिट कैसे बनाएगा. तो क्या होता है कि वो कंपनी लिक्विडेट कर जाती है और एक नई कंपनी विद अ न्यू नेम. जब आपके पास नया नाम होता है तो चांसेस होते हैं ना दैट यू कैन रिकवर. अगर आप सेम ही कंपनी का सेम ही नाम रखोगे तो क्या होगा? कौन सा कस्टमर ट्रस्ट करेगा आपको जब आप एक बार इतनी बुरी तरह परफॉर्म कर चुके हो? आर यू गेटिंग इट? सो व्हाट हैपेंस इज दिस एन एंटायर प्रोसेस ऑफ एक्सटर्नल रिकंस्ट्रक्शन. वील टॉक अबाउट जब हम अकाउंटिंग ट्रीटमेंट की बात करेंगे. बट अभी मैं सिर्फ थियोरेटिकल लेवल पे आपको बता रही हूँ कि अगर आपको कि भाई मतलब क्या है तीनों का. So before I go ahead, I think I'll quickly maybe ask you a few questions and then we'll understand. Ananya Agarwal, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
So just tell me what you understand by amalgamation.
Ma'am, when two or more companies liquidate to form a new one.
Right. Thank you, Ananya. Anirudh, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
So what is absorption?
Where one company is to be taken over by another company.
Wait. Listen to me very carefully. One or more. आप one नहीं बोलोगे खाली.
Okay.
ठीक है, जहां भी अगर लिखा है प्लीज चेक कर लो गलत तो नहीं लिखा. One or more, एक से ज्यादा भी हो सकती है. Repeat Anirudh now what you said.
Absorption means where one or more companies to be taken over by another company.
By an existing company. Okay.
Okay.
So wording
Okay.
is very important here. Right. Okay. Thank you. Anisha, what is external reconstruction?
Yes, ma'am. When one sick company is liquidated and one new company is formed.
Yeah. So you can also add when only one company is a sick company or a loss-making company and a new company is formed. It takes over the loss-making company. Okay. So I hope this is clear and the differences are also very clear to you. Now we go to the little bit of, understanding of certain terms, accounting terms and accounting treatment on amalgamation. Now, see, we are going to talk about the AS 14, Accounting Standard 14, which is there for amalgamation. And some terms which are very, very important in amalgamation are going to be this. Like there is going to be one vendor company or the transferor company, and there's going to be one transferee company or the purchasing company. Now, before I tell you, who is a vendor? Vendor कौन होता है?
Seller.
Yes, seller. Seller. So here in the sense, if I talk about a vendor, let's go up. And if I'm saying A and B liquidate and C is formed. So A and B are the vendor companies and C is the new company which is formed. That is the purchasing company. Is this clear? Please understand these are very important terms. जब हम accounting treatment करेंगे, आपको सबसे पहला स्टेप ये है कि आइडेंटिफाई करना है कि वेंडर कंपनी कौन है और ट्रांसफरी कंपनी क्यों कौन है. क्योंकि अगर आपने गलत आइडेंटिफाई करा, हम दोनों की बुक्स में एंट्री करने वाले हैं और आप उल्टी बुक्स में एंट्री कर दोगे तो सारा क्वेश्चन गलत हो जाएगा. So this is the first step, the first basic. And do you understand who is a vendor company and who is a purchasing company? Yes or no? Is it clear? Please ask if you
Yes,
have a.
ma'am.
So vendor company is also known as a transferor company. That is the company which is selling out or liquidating. While transferee company or a purchasing company is a company which is buying, can be the existing company or the new company. क्योंकि absorption के केस में तो वो existing company होगी और external reconstruction के केस में और amalgamation के केस में वो new company होगी. ठीक है. Now what we have done till now is we have understood the definitions of the three terms. We have understood the difference between the three. We've also understood what do you mean by vendor company and what do you mean by the purchasing company. Now the third thing. So let me just give me a minute. So this was the first part that we started with. And then we came to the second part, which was about what is the vendor company and the transferee company. And now we are going to talk about the third part. Now, what is the third part? And this is very important again from theoretical perspective, I will say, and also from accounting treatment perspective.
Ma'am,
Yes.
I lose the network. Please explain purchasing company.
Yeah, sure. So what I'm saying is vendor is someone who sells and purchasing company is someone who is buying. So for example, like if I take the above example here in amalgamation. So I am saying A and B. A and B is what? Vendor or purchasing? Tell me.
Vendor.
Right. So which means automatically C is purchasing.
Okay,
right. So we have to identify, and this is very crucial. The first step in your question is going to be, you're going to write down, in fact, in your, the first step will be vendor company this and purchasing company this. So that accordingly you make the entries. Clear? Before we go to the accounting treatment, what is very important is to understand that amalgamation has been, differentiated on two bases. That is, one is it is in the nature of merger and the other one is in the nature of purchase. Now, what is this? Now, when we talk about amalgamation in the nature of merger, okay, before I talk about it, I just wanted to know how many of you are doing CA? Please raise your hands. Do I have students who are doing CA here? Is there anybody who is doing CA? No one. No one. Seriously. Practical के time तो सब CA में हो गए थे. अब कोई नहीं है CA में. चलो अच्छी बात है. Anyway. So yeah. So what I'm saying is when I'm saying merger, now there are 5 conditions for an amalgamation to be called as in the nature of merger. There are 5 conditions. And now we are going to talk about what are those 5 conditions. And these 5 conditions should be on your tips. Okay. Now, what are these 5 conditions? Let us understand them. The first one is that all the assets and liabilities of the vendor company will be taken over. So for example, let's say you're given a question, you're given a balance sheet. It has certain assets like plant and machinery, furniture, etc., etc., and liabilities like creditors, bills payable, etc., etc. Now, what will happen in the case of a merger is everything will be taken over. In the sense, लैंड एंड बिल्डिंग है अगर तो वो भी टेकन ओवर होगी, फर्नीचर है तो वो भी टेकन ओवर होगी. इट्स लाइक अ डील दैट इज बीइंग स्ट्रक बिटवीन कंपनी, लेट्स से फलाना एंड फलाना. नाउ व्हाट इज हैपनिंग इज कि भाई हम तुम्हारी कंपनी खरीद रहे हैं तो हम तुम्हारा फर्नीचर भी खरीद रहे हैं, हम तुम्हारा सारा एसेट खरीद रहे हैं और सारा लायबिलिटी खरीद रहे हैं. नाउ दिस मीन्स दैट द मोमेंट अगर आपको क्वेश्चन में ये दिया है दैट only the land and building and creditors was taken over, is this a merger? Yes or no?
No ma'am.
It can't be. क्योंकि पहली कंडीशन ही फुलफिल नहीं हुई. मर्जर होने के लिए पांचों की पांचों कंडीशन फुलफिल होनी चाहिए. अभी हम एक एक करके कर रहे हैं तो देन हम उसको इकट्ठे टुगेदर वी विल पुट इट एंड वी विल ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड. Now this is the first condition, that all the assets and liabilities will be taken over. The moment in the question it is given that that this asset is taken over और कुछ asset रह जाता है, इसका मतलब it is in the nature of purchase. Now what is this? Why is it important? Is like I said, your first step is going to be you're going to identify who is the vendor and who is the purchasing company. The second step is going to be you are going to identify is it in the nature of merger or is it in the nature of purchase. Clear? Because accordingly your solution will variate. So second thing, now let's say you're going to take over all the assets and liabilities. It is in the nature of merger. Now at what value are you going to take it over? You are going to take it over at the book value. Now what is the book value? Book value is जो आपको balance sheet में दी हुई है. So for instance, let's say in the balance sheet you're given that land and building is worth 2,50,000. Now in the question he states that the land and building was taken over for 3 lakh. Is this in the nature of merger? Yes or no? Khushi, repeat. I could not hear you.
Ma'am, no ma'am.
Yes. So again, the second condition is that assets and liabilities are to be taken over at the book value. Is this clear? Is the second condition clear? I hope you're writing down. First is you're going to take over all the assets and liabilities. Second is you're going to take it over at book value. Let's understand the third condition. Now, whoever is the purchasing company is going to intend to carry out the business of the vendor company. मतलब जो भी vendor company का business था, same they are going to carry out. The purchasing company is going to carry out. There is going to be no change in the nature of the business. So I repeat, the first condition is all the assets and liabilities are going to be taken over. Second is all the assets and liabilities are going to be taken over at book value. Third is purchasing company intends to carry out the business of the vendor company. These all three were the easiest. Okay, now I'm going to complicate it a little bit. So if there is any doubt that anybody has right now, please ask. Any question? Okay, so I assume everything is clear. Right, okay. Now I'm going to come to the next part. Let me just download your attendance first, because then otherwise there will be a problem. Right. So now the next part is, what is the fourth part? Okay, so listen to this very carefully, all of you. The shareholders holding at least 90% of the equity shares of the vendor company agree to become the equity shareholders of the purchasing company. So what I am saying is, जो आपका vendor company है जिसने बेची है, ठीक है, वो जो है 90% जो होल्ड करते हैं at least 90% or more. Okay, so shareholders who are actually having 90% or more of the, actually यहाँ पे थोड़ा सा चेंज करें, holding at least 90% of the, यहाँ पे लिख देते हैं हम face value of the equity shares of the vendor company agree to become the equity shareholders of the purchasing company. So at least 90%, 90%, 91%, 92%. Now let's say in the question you're given that only 85% of the shareholders agree, equity shareholders agree to become the equity shareholders of the purchasing company. Is it a merger? Yes or no?
No, ma'am.
No.
No, ma'am.
Clear? Is this clear? It's a little tricky one. If you want me to explain, please let me know.
And please explain third point.
Yeah. Third point. Okay. Third is easy. Purchasing company intends to carry out the business of vendor company. Vendor company जो काम कर रही थी, वही company का business purchasing company भी carry out करेगी. Change नहीं करेगी business को. Same business रहेगा. Is this clear?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Now the last one. Now, obviously, when you are going to pay, in the sense when you're going to buy the company, you're going to pay out, right? There's going to be a deal. Discharge of equity shares in equity shares only except cash can be paid in fractional shares or dissenting shares. मतलब कि भाई आप किसको पैसे दोगे? जो आपके इक्विटी शेयर होल्डर हैं, उनको आप पैसे दोगे? उनको obviously आप कुछ खरीद रहे हो तो आप उनको क्या दोगे? पैसे दोगे, right? So how are you going to actually pay? You are going to pay them in equity shares only. You're going to pay them in equity shares only, but except there are two cases where you're not going to pay them in equity shares. You can pay them cash if there are fractional shares. Now, what are fractional shares? For example, when we are going to do the calculation, let me give an example. Let's say the number of shares comes out to be 78.98. Can you issue 78.98 shares? Can you do that? Yes or no? Can you issue 78.98 shares? Please tell me yes or no.
No, ma'am.
So what are you going to do?
No,
You are going to issue 78 shares, and for the 0.98, you are going to calculate how much cash should be given to them. You're going to do this calculation. So in this case, it can be something else also. Let me give you an example. 89.56. Then again, for 0.56, you're going to give the cash. That's one case. And who are the dissenting shares? Dissenting shares means that हमने बोला कि भाई at least 90%, which means let's say 90% ही है, 10% जो है वो agree नहीं किए, right? उन्होंने agree नहीं किया कि भाई हमें equity share holder बनना है नई कंपनी का, तो उनको कुछ तो पेमेंट दोगे, वो फ्री में थोड़ी दे देंगे अपने equity shares. So आप उनको क्या दोगे? Cash दोगे. Is this clear? So I will just repeat. What I'm saying is that you are going to pay to the equity shareholders equity shares only of the purchasing company, obviously. But for those, there are only two cases in which you're going to pay cash. What are those two cases? One is if you have the fractional shares, and the other if you have the dissenting shares. Is this clear? Any question?
Ma'am, can you please re-explain the dissenting shares?
Yeah. Dissenting means dissent करते हैं, जो कहते हैं कि नहीं जी, हमें तो नहीं ये मंजूर है, ठीक है, हमें इक्विटी शेयर नहीं लेना आपकी नई कंपनी का, परचेजिंग कंपनी का, आप हमारा हिसाब कर दो. ओके, इन शॉर्ट दैट्स व्हाट इट मींस कि भाई हमने नहीं बेचनी, अब अगर नहीं बेचनी या हमें इक्विटी शेयर्स नहीं चाहिए आपकी नई कंपनी के, तो आप उसको क्या दोगे? अब उनके पास इक्विटी शेयर्स है तो वो उनको बेचेंगे ही ना एक तरह से आपको. आप उन्हें इक्विटी शेयर्स नहीं दोगे, आप उन्हें क्या दोगे? कैश दोगे. Is this clear? Dissenting are the ones who do not agree to become your equity shareholder. Any question? Now, this means, please note, इसका ये मतलब नहीं है कि ये जो 5 कंडीशन है इनमें से एक भी सेटिस्फाई हुई तो वो मर्जर है. No. All the conditions should be satisfied and then only we will call it as a merger. So which means that if any of the point above is not satisfied, then amalgamation is in the nature of purchase. I repeat, it means for it to be a merger, there are 5 conditions. I am repeating and then I'm going to ask you, by the way. First, all the assets and liabilities are going to be taken over. Second, assets and liabilities are going to be taken over at the book value. Thirdly, at least 90% of the equity shareholder who are holding the face value of the equity shares of the vendor company agree to become the equity shareholder of the purchasing company. Fourthly, you are going to make the payment to the equity shareholders in equity shares of the purchasing company, except cash can be paid to the fractional shares or to the dissenting shares. And fifthly, the purchasing company is going to have the intention to carry out the same business as that of the vendor company. Is this clear? You can take your time. If you want to write it down, all these 5 points, you can do that. If you want to have a look, please have a look. Because then I'm going to ask. क्या बेटा फिर से बोलना?
Ma'am, 4th point.
Fourth, just give me a minute. I'll just put my laptop on charge. Yeah. So the fourth point is shareholders holding at least 90% of the face value of the equity shares of the vendor company. जिनके at least 90% of the shares, equity shares of the vendor company जिनके पास है, they must agree to become the equity shareholders of the purchasing company. अगर 90 से कम है, 89, 85, 75, then it is not in the nature of merger. Do you get that? Is this clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Manvi,
Yes.
thank you. Right, Jeet, you're right. So now we come to, before we move on, very quickly, a little bit of, okay, I just need to ask you, how many do you of you have the books? Have you been able to arrange the books? Just raise your hands. Nobody? Okay, so I've already shared the link. Anisha has that, great. Fine, Anisha. So I have already shared the link. You guys can arrange for the book, but till then, obviously, I'll be sharing accordingly how we have to do. Now listen to what I have to say. I am going to give you a line and write it in the chat box also, and you're going to tell me whatever question I'm going to ask you. Okay, so just look into the chat box. So I'm writing it. It is illustration 1, by the way, Anisha, you can check. The following balances, we're not solving it. एक simple सा कुछ query पूछूंगी जो अभी तक मैंने आपसे बताया है, have been taken from the books of Bhavna Limited as on 31st. I'm just writing it in the chat box. Hold on. March 2021. The following answers have been taken from the books of Bhavna Limited as on the is given below. So just see this. मैं balance sheet share नहीं कर रही, मेरे को क्योंकि कुछ और पूछना है. And I'm writing another line now after this. All of you have a look in the chat box. Sakshi Limited intends to take over the on the following terms and valuation. Yeah. So can you read the two statements in the chat box, all of you? Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Right. Now my question, the first question. My first question is, and you're going to raise your hands. You're not going to speak out of turn for this. Okay, just raise your hands if you have the answer. Who is the vendor company in this case? You have to name the vendor company. Just raise your hands. Okay, so I have Tabassum. Can you answer?
Yes, ma'am.
Who is the vendor company?
Bhavna.
Bhavna. Okay. So Tabassum says, here it is, Bhavna is the vendor company, which automatically though means, but then I'll ask it just to for clarity purpose. Ruchi, who is the purchasing company? Ruchi, who is the purchasing company?
Ma'am.
Repeat, Ruchi, can't hear you. I think there is a problem with Ruchi in the network. Jeet, who is the purchasing company?
Ma'am, Sakshi Limited.
Right, Sakshi, it is clear. So this is just to know, I mean, whether you understand that or not. This is just one of the basic things that I wanted to ask you. Now, before we go on to actual question or something, what are we going to do is one last thing for today, and then we will try to jump on a question. So see, my approach is like, step by step we'll go. It's not that हम पहले पूरा theory कर लेंगे, सारा treatment कर लेंगे और फिर एकदम question में घुसेंगे. It creates a lot of confusion. So that's how I usually do accountancy. So let's see the next step. So this is going to be, just give me a second, the fourth and last thing for today. That is calculation of purchase consideration. Now, what is a purchase consideration? Obviously, when you're going to buy a thing, which is a business, you're going to make a payment for it. So purchase consideration is nothing but the payment that you're making to buy the thing or the business. Now, whom are you going to make the payment? Obviously, you're going to make the payment to the equity shareholders or maybe the preference shareholders. You're going to make the payment to whom? You are going to make the payment to the shareholders, right? So if you say that it is basically nothing but the payment that you're making in terms of shares or cash to the shareholders of the transferor company. Is this clear? I repeat, what is PC? Let me write it here maybe. So PC is the payment made to the shareholders of the transferor oblique the vendor company. Is this clear? This also means, note what I'm saying. It means that it does not include any payment that you are making to the creditors or other people like debenture holders, etc. Do you understand that? It means that any payment that you're making to the creditors or debenture holder is to not be included in the PC. I'll write it. It means any payment made to the creditors and the debenture holders is not to be included. Is it clear? Any question? Because debenture holders or creditors are not the owners of the business, right? So whatever payment you're making them is the payment that you're making to the third party. Is this clear? Now I said, what is your first step going to be in every question? You're going to identify who's the vendor. You're going to identify who's the purchasing company. Second step, you're going to identify whether it's in the nature of merger or whether it's in the nature of purchase. The next step is going to be the calculation of purchase consideration. And that's what we are going to talk about. So calculation of purchase consideration, there can be different methods. We'll only talk about the first method today, which just hold on, let me explain that. The four methods that we have are lump sum method, net asset method, net payment method, and intrinsic value or swap method. Lump sum is very easy. You will be given in the question that the business was purchased for 50 lakh rupees. So obviously it is so easy that you're never going to get a question on this. ठीक है? वो इतना easy नहीं होने वाला है आपके लिए purchase consideration. So the second method is net asset method. Now, before I come to the net asset method, can anybody tell me what is the net asset method? Do you know anything about the net asset method? हाँ बेटा बोलो.
Total asset minus total liability.
Yeah, right. Assets minus the liability. That is true. That is what the net asset method is. And that's what we are going to do. But there are going to be certain riders, certain things that we are going to talk about once we understand this method. Okay, so let me just show you. Yeah, here are some points that we are going to discuss. Now it's a deal. You are making a deal. Okay, let's say आपका business 10 लाख का worth है. Purchasing company कहती है मैं 15 लाख का खरीदूंगा. ऐसा हो सकता है कि नहीं हो सकता? Can this happen? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
ठीक है. तो simple है. You have to strike a deal. Now, similarly, if you remember, I said to you that if it is in the nature of merger, then what will happen is that you will be taking over the assets and liabilities at book value given in the question. But it can be given in the question that the plant and machinery is worth 2,50,000, book value is 2,50,000, but the purchasing company decides to purchase it at 3 lakh, right? So now in this case, it means that when we are going to apply the net asset value method, there are certain things that I have to keep in mind. One, that assets and liabilities are to be considered at या तो agreed value या fair value या book value. मतलब like I said, deal क्या है? 2.5 लाख का है वैसे प्लांट एंड मशीनरी, पर परचेजिंग कंपनी कहती है मैं 3 लाख दूंगा, तो आप कौन सी वैल्यू उठाओगे? 3 लाख या 2.5 लाख?
3 lakh.
3 lakh.
बट अगर क्वेश्चन में कुछ नहीं दिया, या तो अग्रीड वैल्यू पहले देखोगे, या तो फेयर वैल्यू देखोगे, या फिर लॉस जो भी आपकी बैलेंस शीट में दी है बुक वैल्यू. ठीक है, सो यू हैव टू फॉलो द ऑर्डर. इट इज एज सिंपल एज कि भाई डील क्या हुई है? डील हुई है कि भाई मैं इतने पे लूंगा, अब जितने पे लूंगा उतना ही मैं लूंगी. ठीक है, और अगर कुछ नहीं है तो बुक वैल्यू पे एज इट इज लूंगी. ठीक है, once we do the question you will understand that. That's one very important point you have to understand. Second point is, now there is something known as fictitious assets. What are fictitious assets? Anybody? So
Debit balance.
Goodwill.
statement.
Shall
Goodwill is not fictitious, it is intangible, Khushi.
Ma'am,
There's a-
debit balance, profit and loss statement.
Yes. But what does it
Advertisement
mean?
suspense account.
You are giving me examples. You have to tell me what is the definition of fictitious assets. So
Ma'am, that is basically
हाँ,
an
जीत फिर
but it is,
repeat करो जीत.
and that is not basically in the asset in substance, but it is having a debit balance. So that is why it is shown in the debit side.
That's right.
Asset.
Correct. So fictitious assets are, fictitious का मतलब क्या है? नकली. Technically fictitious का मतलब वो असली में asset नहीं है. ठीक है, वो एक तरह के नकली एसेट हैं. कैसे हैं? Like for example, if you're talking about miscellaneous expenditures. Now miscellaneous expenditures are something जिसको हम धीरे धीरे write off करते हैं, एक साल में, दूसरे साल में, तीसरे साल में, and so on. So they are written off in, let's say, 5 years or so on. Or let's say there are preliminary expenses, etc. Now these fictitious assets, इनका ट्रीटमेंट क्या है? ठीक है, इनको ट्रीट कैसे करेंगे? क्या कोई परचेजिंग कंपनी जब डील कर रही होगी वो fictitious assets खरीदेगी? Yes or no?
No, ma'am.
मतलब जैसे आपने बोला डेबिट बैलेंस ऑफ पीएनएल, कोई डेबिट बैलेंस ऑफ पीएनएल खरीदेगा?
No,
ठीक है,
ma'am.
तो क्या होगा उसका ट्रीटमेंट? टेक्निकली क्या है? टेक्निकली उसका ट्रीटमेंट ये है, जो इक्विटी शेयर होल्डर्स ऑलरेडी एग्जिस्टिंग है, जब हम इक्विटी शेयर होल्डर अकाउंट बनाएंगे तो ये जो भी डेबिट बैलेंस है वो आपका इक्विटी शेयर होल्डर के अकाउंट में चला जाएगा, एडजस्ट हो जाएगा. राइट? आर यू गेटिंग मी? दैट इज वाई जो आपके ओनर्स हैं उनकी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है, उनके अकाउंट पे एडजस्ट होगा वो. तो इसीलिए जो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट है वो ये है, जब हम एसेट्स ऐड कर रहे होंगे नेट एसेट वैल्यू के लिए, fictitious assets like miscellaneous expenditure not written off or preliminary expenses are not to be considered. Is this clear? मतलब उनको हम ऐड नहीं करेंगे assets में. Is this clear all of you? Yes or no? Okay, so I'm going to ask you, Anisha, to do me a favor. Can you please take the picture of question number 1, illustration 1, that is the balance sheet, and जो पीछे adjustments दी है, solution के ऊपर ऊपर तक, and please send it in the chat box, Anisha. Can you do
Yes,
that?
ma'am. Ma'am, I have P.K. Goyal's book.
You have BK Goyal, so you don't have JR Monga. Nobody has JR Monga? Then I think I'll have to share. Then give me a second. I'll share it. Just give me a second, all of you. Just a second. Huh? So this is the same question that I just gave you regarding Sakshi and Bhavna. So I'm going to send you 2 pictures for the same question. That is the balance sheet and the adjustments that are given in the question. Right. Okay, I'm sending it. Just let me know if it is clear or not. Right, it is sent. Please check. Have you received it? Just confirm. बताइए. Have you received the question?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now we're going to discuss it first, but before we discuss it, a very important instructions for all of you to do any question on corporate accounts is never ever start the question by just reading the first line. You have to read the entire question. बहुत ध्यान से starting first word से लेके end के word तक पूरे question को पढ़ना है, उसके बाद ही पेन उठाना है और लिखना शुरू करना है. Is this clear? Okay. I am giving all of you 5 minutes to read the entire question, please. And once you're done with the entire reading, raise your hand. फिर करेंगे. चलिए. Start. 12:25, 12:30 I will ask you. Just raise your hands when you're done with the reading, please. I'm waiting. Tabassum is done. Everyone, come on. You have 3 more minutes to read. Sanjali is also done. 2 more minutes, all of you. Lipsa is also done. Tanu done. Khushi done. Last 1 minute, everyone, and then we'll start. Come on fast. इतना लंबा भी क्वेश्चन नहीं है जो इतनी देर लग रही है पढ़ने में. Come on, guys. Ready now, everyone? Can we start the question?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I'm going to ask you a few things. I said, what is going to be your first step for the question? You are going to identify the vendor and the purchasing company. We have already done that. So somebody said vendor is Bhavna and purchasing company is Sakshi. Second step. Is this in the nature of merger or purchase? Can anyone tell me?
Ma'am, in nature of purchase.
Right. Why?
मैम इसमें कोई मतलब इन्फॉर्मेशन नहीं दिया 5 कंडीशन का, ना बुक वैल्यू पे ले रहा है एसेट्स और ना ही मतलब
यही छोड़ दो, यही छोड़ दो. खाली यही बात है. मेन बात यही है कि बुक वैल्यू पे वो ले ही नहीं रहा. तो पहली कंडीशन फुलफिल नहीं हुई तो हमें और कुछ देखना ही नहीं. 5 कंडीशन फुलफिल होनी चाहिए. So in the nature of purchase. Okay. Now the third thing is I have to calculate the PC. So I'm going to follow the net asset method. It's been told that what asset has been taken over at what value. Okay. So I am going to start with Anung. Are you there? Not there. Dipansh, are you there? Divya?
Yes, ma'am.
Divya, I am going to write the assets first. That is, I'm going to add up the assets. So which is the, let me tell you the order, by the way. You will always go not by the, adjustments at the end, but by the balance sheet. Okay. It says, please see this carefully, intends to take over the business on the following terms and valuation. Now, if I go by, it is saying that building at 2 lakh. What do I do? Kya karu? Building kitne pe lu?
Ma'am, 2 lakhs because the agreed value is 2 lakh rupees.
Right. So I take building at 2 lakh. Okay. After Divya, do I have Jeet? Jeet, what do I take after building?
1 second.
Yes. So we have to see what we have to take after building.
Machinery at 465.
Okay, so machinery is at 465. Right, just give me a minute. Fine. Now I have, after G, I have, let's see, who is it? Kalpana,
Yes, ma'am.
after
Yes,
plant and machinery at 465, what do I take?
ma'am, furniture at 36,000.
Furniture at 36,000. Okay, Kalpana, thank you. Do I have Khailendra? No. Yes. Yes, Khailendra. After furniture, what do I take? Okay, let me tell you. See, in the question it is given, please be very careful about this. Balance sheet में दिया है investment market value 90,000 और book value दिया 1,20,000 और ऊपर उसने बोला intends to take over the business. The moment it says that take over the business on the following terms, we are assuming that all the assets and liabilities have been taken over क्योंकि उसने बोला take over the business. ठीक है? So उसने लिखा नहीं इन्वेस्टमेंट किस वैल्यू पे टेक ओवर किए, लेकिन बैलेंस शीट में क्योंकि हमने क्या बोला था, सबसे पहले देखेंगे हम अग्रीड वैल्यू या फेयर वैल्यू या बुक वैल्यू. अग्रीड वैल्यू दी नहीं है, which means fair value is the market value. So we are going to take over the investment at 90,000. Is this clear, everyone? Is this clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Khushi, after investment, what do I take?
Ma'am, inventories.
At what value?
Ma'am, जो agreed value दिया है 1,20,000.
Right, correct. Okay. After Khushi, I have Krishna. Are you there? No. Lipsa.
Yes, ma'am.
So after inventory, what do I take?
Ma'am, debtors.
At what value?
Ma'am, 10% of the doubtful debt.
Calculate the 3,12,000 minus 10% and tell me the value. Please keep your calculators handy. Tell me the value of debtors. At what value am I going to take
Just
debtors?
a minute.
Yeah. Anyone can answer. You can calculate, put it in the chat box or unmute yourself also, because all of you have to do the calculation.
2,80,000.
Right.
80,800.
Correct. So that's debtors, 2,80,800. Now after debtors, what do I take? Who's going to be the next one after Lipsa? Manvi? Are you there?
Nil.
Yes. How much value?
Nil.
What? I repeat. What did you say? I didn't hear you. फिर से बोलना बेटा.
Ma'am, nil.
नहीं, नील किस वैल्यू को कह रही? बिल्स रिसीवेबल कहाँ गया? बिल्स रिसीवेबल क्यों नहीं बोला? मैंने अभी क्या बोला आप लोगों को? नहीं, सुनो मेरी बात सुनो. मैंने अभी क्या बोला? आई सेड क्वेश्चन में एडजस्टमेंट से नहीं शुरू करोगे, बैलेंस शीट से शुरू करोगे. क्योंकि उसने क्या बोला? टेक्स ओवर द बिजनेस. द मोमेंट ही सेज टेक्स ओवर द बिजनेस मींस सारे एसेट्स एंड सारे लायबिलिटीज. सो मैं एक एक एसेट को टेक ओवर करूंगी. उसने उसकी वैल्यू नहीं बताई, व्हिच मींस बिल्स रिसीवेबल को एज इट इज 45,000 पे टेक ओवर किया है. Is this point clear, everyone? You can write it in the question. Is it clear? So we are going to take over BR at 45,000. I said आप balance sheet से start करोगे. Okay. Now after that, there is going to be cash in hand at 55,000. Now let me ask someone else. Just hold on. Megha, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
तो cash in hand के बाद क्या take over करूंगी? What will I take over after cash in hand?
I'm cash at bank.
Yes. At what value?
1,11,000.
वो तो कुछ भी हो जाए वो उतने पे ही करोगे. ऑब्वियसली कोई कैश एट बैंक ये नहीं बोलेगा 1,11,000 को मैं 2 लाख पे लूंगा, राइट? सो यू हैव टू सी दैट. ऑलराइट. आफ्टर मेघा वी हैव रहमत. आर यू देयर? नॉट देयर. रहमत इज नॉट.
Yes, ma'am.
So रहमत, after cash at bank, what are you going to take over?
Ma'am, goodwill.
At what value?
Nil.
Nil. So I don't want to write goodwill here. I can leave it or I can write dash. Okay. Am I going to take over preliminary expenses? Anyone? Riya?
No.
No. Because
No, ma'am.
it is a fictitious asset, so it's not being added here. So what we'll do is we'll add up all the assets. Clear till here? Now, let's see the liability side, the external liability side. So we are going to start with, if I look at whatever adjustment we have, we can just check that also. Okay, there was a liability of 26,000 against the workman compensation. So let's start with, let's say, workman compensation fund. Okay, it says in the workman compensation fund, balance sheet में तो 56,000 दिया है और वो कहता है there was a liability of 26,000 against the workman's compensation fund. So at what value am I going to take over workman compensation fund? Anybody? Tell me. You tell me what you think. Sanjali?
I'm 26.
26,000. So I am going to take it WCF at 26,000. That's correct. So after WCF, what about bills payable? At what value shall I take bills payable? Is it given in the question? Let's check. All right. Not given. So hence, who's going to be the next? Ruchi Pandey. Bills payable at what value? Not there. Shruti?
45,000.
35,000. Right. 35,000 is bills payable. Then I have something known as creditors. Creditors at what value? Anybody can answer this? Simran? Creditors at what value?
2,25,000.
Yeah, because it's not mentioned in the question. So 2,25,000. And then I have, do I have anything else? Yes, I do. I have provident fund and provision for tax. Let's look at the adjustment. It says that for the tax, it is saying the actual liability is 40,000. So the PFT is 40,000. And I also have provident fund for 1,10,000. So I take it as it is 1,10,000. And let's say there is a debenture also of 1 lakh. Is this clear? Any question in the liability, please ask. Do you have any doubt? Okay, so I assume you understand. So we will add up the liability here. So this is how much the liability is. Please do the question side by side and tell me the answer.
1 lakh कहाँ दिया?
डिबेंचर्स में दिया है, बैलेंस शीट देखो. मैंने तभी बोला ना बैलेंस शीट से स्टार्ट करो, इसीलिए बोला था.
यस और मैम इसमें और जो है सिक्योरिटीज प्रीमियम पीएफ वो फिक्टिशियस एसेट्स इसलिए नहीं लेंगे, वो क्या नहीं करेंगे, उसको नहीं लेंगे मैम.
नहीं सुनो, वो एक्सटर्नल लायबिलिटी होती है. नेट एसेट क्या होता है? नेट एसेट होता है ये सारी चीजें जैसे कि सिक्योरिटी, प्रीमियम, इक्विटी शेयर होल्डर, ये तो इनका अकाउंट बनता है ना.
यस मैम,
अकाउंट में जाता है ना, ये कोई पीएनएल में तो नहीं कैलकुलेट होता, राइट?
यस मैम.
ठीक है, तो नेट एसेट क्या होता है? नेट एसेट होता है एसेट माइनस आउटसाइड लायबिलिटी, थर्ड पार्टी लायबिलिटी.
Ma'am, what about realization expenses?
Yeah, I'll tell you that. It says, the statement says realization expense estimated at 15,000 to be borne by Sakshi Limited. Now, what did I say to you when I said that PC? What is PC? Is the payment to be made to the owners. Now, उन्होंने डील ये करी कि हम ये एसेट इस वैल्यू पे ले रहे हैं, ये लायबिलिटी इस वैल्यू पे ले रहे हैं. उसको माइनस किया तो हमारी पीसी आ गई. हाँ, एडिशनली उसने ये बोला कि रियलाइजेशन एक्सपेंस जो है वो साक्षी लिमिटेड उसको बॉर्न करेगा. लेकिन बॉर्न करेगा का मतलब ये नहीं है कि परचेज कंसिडरेशन में आ जाएगा. हमने क्या बोला था? एनी पेमेंट आउटसाइड दैट विल नॉट बी कंसिडर्ड है. हाँ, उसकी एंट्री होगी, बट अभी हमने लेजर एंट्री पे हम गए नहीं, तो अभी आपके लिए इमटेरियल है. With time you will come to know how it is to be treated. ठीक है? So the last step here is I want you to give me the answer, please, all of you. What is your PC? Asset minus liability बताओ मुझे कितना आ रहा है? I'm waiting for that. Asset minus liability. I need the final answer. Come on fast. What is the asset minus liability, guys? You have to do it. यहाँ पे ऐसे देख के नहीं करना है. Accounts कर रहे हो, ready रहो. Question करो साथ के साथ.
8,66,000.
Right. 8,66,000. Is it? Everyone is. Are you getting the same?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
एक बार मुझे चेक करने दो. I'm just checking it. 8. 8,66,000 है या 8,66,800 है? Anybody? सबने किया नहीं इसका मतलब. What is the PC? Is it 8,66,000 or is it 8,66,800? Please check. Lipsa, how much are you getting?
Ma'am, 8,66,800.
Correct.
800, yes, ma'am. 800.
Yes. तो
Yes, ma'am. 800.
ठीक है, तो ये होगी मेरी पीसी. और इस बार
8,66,000.
8,66,800. Then it says preference shareholders are to be paid in cash. इसका मतलब ये है इसकी पेमेंट कैसे होगी? प्रेफरेंस शेयर होल्डर हमारे पास कितने हैं? 2 लाख के. तो 2 लाख के प्रेफरेंस शेयर होल्डर्स को तो आपने कैश पे कर दिया. And balance to be paid in equity shares of Sakshi Limited of 100 means balance मेरे पास है 666,800 divided by 100. हर शेयर 100 रुपीस का है. So you get the answer, that is 6,668. Is this right? Please check. ठीक है, इतने शेयर्स इशू होंगे. Is it clear? Any doubt? Please ask. So we
अभी आप क्या किए पीसी के बाद?
हमने ये किया कि उसने लिखा है पेमेंट कैसे करनी है. उसने बोला प्रेफरेंस शेयर होल्डर्स को कैश देना है, तो हमने माइनस कर दिए प्रेफरेंस शेयर होल्डर 2 लाख के, उन्हें कैश देके. 866,800 में से माइनस किया 2 लाख, यू गेट 666,800. वो कहता है कि उनको इशू करने हैं शेयर्स, हर शेयर 100 रुपीस का है, तो हमने निकाला कि कितने शेयर्स इशू किए? 6,668 के. Is it clear? Right. So the first question is done. Based on this, I am going to give you homework. We're going to meet on Saturday. Illustration 6, I'm going to send it across and you can do that, and we'll meet on Saturday and then move to the next method. We'll discuss the illustration 6 first and then we'll move to the net payment method. All right. Can I end the class now?
Yes, ma'am.
See you next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you, ma'am.